Hey, yo, welcome to the Blue Plate Special. It is real live music right here in beautiful downtown Knoxville, Tennessee. Okay, it's beautiful, but it's a little soggy today. So, what else you got to do? Come inside where it's nice and dry and enjoy some live music. But if you can't be here with us, know that you can jump on over there to the WDVX Facebook page or our YouTube channel where it's streaming live right now. Or you can watch it back later at your convenience. Our guests today have come over from Nashville to hang out with us on the show. Give a great big welcome to Haunted Like Human to the Blue Plate Special.
Thanks so much, y'all. We are going to jump in for this first song for you. This was the lead single off of our latest record. It's a song called Stay.
Darling, you don't hold me close the way you used to do. And I wonder what you're thinking when I'm reaching out for you. You're trying to be patient, yeah, you're trying to be kind. But I know that you're still running from the demons in your mind. But I promise this thing in my head, it ain't got the best of me yet. Somewhere between all the wine and the chemicals that are out of whack in my mind. Somewhere between all the whiskey and the medicine that I'm drowning in to stay alive. I am often unkempt and unreasonable, but I swear to God that this is me trying. I'm begging you, stay. I'm begging you, stay. I know the weight of my sins is a heavy thing to hold, but I am not yours to carry. I can lift it on my own. We're tired here together from these long and lonely nights where your sighing sounds like screaming. I'm trying to make it out alive, but I promise this thing in my head, it ain't got the best of me yet. Somewhere between all the wine and the chemicals that are out of whack in my mind. Somewhere between all the whiskey and the medicine that I'm drowning in to stay alive. I am often unkempt and unreasonable, but I swear to God that this is me trying. I'm begging you, stay. I'm begging you, stay. Don't give up on
Don't give up on me. I won't give up on you. Don't give up on me. I won't give up.
But I promise this thing in my head, it ain't got the best of me yet. Somewhere between all the wine and the chemicals that are out of whack in my mind. Somewhere between all the whiskey and the medicine that I'm drowning in to stay alive. I am often unkempt and unreasonable, So darling, won't you hold me close the way you used to do?
Thank you, friends. This next one that we got for you was one that we wrote in early lockdown. We were supposed to originally cut this latest record in April of 2020, which didn't happen quite that way for obvious reasons. But the silver lining to having that time pushed back and having all of this time at the house just kind of staring at the walls or each other was the fact that we had all this extra time to write and to try new things and play with new ideas. And there's a number of songs that definitely wouldn't be here, let alone on the record, without having had that extra time. So this is one of them. It's a song about ghost towns.
There's nothing quite like the people left walking around ghost towns. The rings round their eyes and the way that they drift on the wind. They're still following echoes from past lives they lived. They remind me of stories I heard as a kid. So how do I set you free when the lost don't wanna be found? And how do I get you to see that there's nothing left here for you now? That there's nothing left here for you now. Stretching on tiptoes to reach for a reason to hold on. But I'm falling forward, they're falling back into themselves. Yeah, they're walking their circles of personal hell. And they sigh like the sound of the night in the elms. So how do I set you free when the lost don't wanna be found? And how do I get you to see that there's nothing left here for you now? That there's nothing left here for you now. Are you scared of dying? Are you fighting to stay awake? You know it's not your job, dear, to mourn the mistakes that we make. I just pray the Lord your soul to take. So how do I set you free when the lost don't wanna be found? And how do I get you to see that there's nothing left here for you now? That there's nothing left here for you now. That there's nothing left here for you now.
Thank you.
This is Haunted Like Human with us here today on the Blue Plate Special. So let's kind of get the story first. So I read you all met in a coffee shop in Nashville. Is that right?
Yeah. Oh, you did the research. All right. Yeah. So I met Cody when he was visiting town with a friend. They had basically decided to come over to Nashville for a couple of weeks and see who they met and try to write and try to make connections. And I was working in like a very tourist-heavy restaurant and was very familiar with the look on someone's face when they were like looking at their phone and trying to find something on a map, more or less. And so I was like, can I help you? Are you trying to find something? Can I point you in the right direction?
To top things off,
Yeah.
I had all of my bags with me and everything because on the way into Nashville, my car broke down. I managed to limp it all the way to Nashville, but I dropped it off at the shop and was stuck walking the city for the next 3 or so weeks that I was hanging out.
Where did you limp it from, Cody?
Well, it broke down in Wyoming on a Saturday, so I limped it from Wyoming. I wasn't sure I was going to make it.
Yeah, that wasn't just an extra couple miles. That was clear across the country. So he had like all of his bags. There's like multiple guitars in the mix. So that was a good way to kind of start the conversation of, oh, like we're like to meet people and start writing. And I was like really in earnest starting to buckle down and try to work on a solo project at the time. And I was like, oh yeah, that's like, we can totally write sometime. That's cool. I had no intention of actually doing that. I was just trying to like say that I was getting outside of my comfort zone. But we did, in fact, end up writing. And Cody didn't mind me being so awkward and so like tense and
We
not
wrote
in
our
my
first
element.
song together like 2 or
that
3
day.
days after meeting in the coffee
Yeah.
shop.
And that ended up being like the title track for our first record was the song that we basically wrote in that one sitting. But once we kind of got past my deep awkwardness, not like never having co-written with somebody before, especially somebody that like I didn't really know yet. We were like, oh, this works like really well. This works very naturally. We had this sort of like hilarious brain blast moment. And Cody's friend, who was also in on the co-write with us, was so clearly like, what just happened? We were like sputtering a bunch of like partial sentences at each other. We're like, yeah, just do it real quick and we'll hit it. So for the rest of his time in town, we just kept hanging out and we kept writing. And it started as like, hey, I really love this song that we wrote and I would love to use it for this EP that I'm working on, but I can't play that guitar part that you wrote yet. I'll learn it in time, but like, would you want to come back down to Nashville and just record all of the guitar for my whole thing? 'Cause you'll do it a lot quicker and cleaner than I would. And that snowballed very quickly into like, oh, well, we could just be a band and he could just move to Nashville. That's fine. I kind of liken it to meeting somebody at a blackjack table, getting married at a drive-through, like Vegas wedding chapel, and it working out in your favor, even though it shouldn't have. It all kind of snowballed violently out of control, but it's been for the best in the end.
Yeah.
Well, not everybody just says, hey, I'm going to go to Nashville and find some people to write with, and like starts a band with the first person they met in the town, literally there.
Literally.
That's
That's
how
I
it
wouldn't
happened.
necessarily recommend it to a friend, but it makes for a really good story.
So let's talk a minute about Tall Tales and Fables. Tell the folks about that.
So that is our latest record. Like I kind of said before, we ended up cutting that July of 2020, but it didn't end up coming out until October of 21. So there was, obviously, everything was a lot harder trying to get a record out during that time. And it's been really incredible to see like how widely it is connected with people. Some of these songs that are like so specific and so meaningful for us that we were like, we love it. Other people will get it. It'll probably be a deep cut. And then surprise, like we wake up on release morning to find that Spotify had put that song on 2 different Spotify curated bluegrass playlists. And all of a sudden this like hyper specific song about Cody's grandmother is like resonating widely with people, and we're getting people at merch tables being like, I was in a long distance relationship between South Carolina and Ohio and things like that. It's been really incredible. After we came out of the studio, we were like, this is the record that we've been trying to make since day one. And it's been really cool to see how it's connected with others.
Well, you all have the opportunity to stop by the merch table over there, shaking howdy with them afterwards. On Saturday, they'll be at Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Sunday in Wilmington. HauntedLikeHuman.com is where you find the complete tour schedule and more information. I'm going to back out of the way, y'all. This is Haunted Like Human on the WDVX Blue Plate Special.
Thank you, friend. This next one is a song that desperately wants to be a rock song and almost didn't make the record because of that. But everybody on the team was like, no, we're going to figure out how to make this fit. And since Cody has a degree in classical composition, he was the one who was qualified to answer the question of how do we make this sonically fit on a folk record. And the answer was lots of layers of strings. So this is the one that by far is the most different, like how we wrote it and how we do it live versus how it ended up on the record. So that is a shameless plug to go listen to this song in particular, but it's one called Soothsayer.
When the dust first breathed life, child, don't touch the fire. Guess the ashes have called from the start. In the chaos and calm, cut a slash across your palm. Promise blood, it poisons your heart. From the shadows of the crowd, there's a hand reaching out. It can offer the things that you seek. There's a price to be paid, but ain't that every trade? You're just looking for strength when you're weak.
Oh, you know there's a flickering darkness, and it sings out like sirens to you. Yeah, it's sickly sweet and elegantly violent, but these deaths that you take, they will someday come to.
Hungry hands reaching up, crave for more, lust for blood. Bring the fattened calf and slaughter the sheep. Fingers wrapped round the crown like they tore at her gown. Who will die for the secrets you keep?
Oh, you know there's a flickering darkness, and it sings out like sirens to you. Yeah, it's sickly sweet and elegantly violent, but these deaths that you take, they will someday come due.
Ravens come like oracles, speaking in tongues, and it sounds like a song that has never felt lungs. The thing that you hate is the thing you've become. Blessed are the words of the soothsaying son.
Oh, you know there's a flickering darkness, and it sings out like sirens to you. Yeah, it's sickly sweet and elegantly violent, but these deaths that you take, they will someday come due. But these deaths that you take, they will someday come due.
Thanks, y'all. My little bandana keeps getting crooked this morning. It's bugging me. This next one is a song that is very near and dear to us. If you would like to come hang out with us, say hi, ask any questions about anything, we'll be over by the merch table here for those live. For those out in the internet sphere, feel free to like slide into our DMs or shoot us an email. We've got like contact form on the website and such. But we love chatting with y'all. We love connecting with y'all. So I will keep it short and sweet here for the purposes of live. But this is a song that goes out to all the queer and the trans kids in Appalachia. It's called Whistling Tree.
your breath and just hold me, to keep from breathing in the secondhand smoke of what we're supposed to be. 'Cause they're just con men selling us their lies. Yeah, they wrap round our heads, take what they can, and leave our hearts behind. So won't you meet me in that secret place where lovers go to hide their face? So when the sun sinks low, find the place we're free. Come down, my love, to the whistling tree. Won't you take my hand and follow my lead? Come down, my love, to the whistling tree. Blood in the roots, whispers in the leaves, from all the carved out scars, forgotten names of lovers and their dreams. And in this stillness, we move with ease. If this is the only place I can be with you, then this is where I'll be. So won't you meet me in that secret place where lovers go to hide their face? Hear the time move slow and the air tastes sweet. Come down, my love, to the whistling tree. Won't you take my hand and follow my lead? Come down, my love, to the whistling tree. For far too long, I've been casting my eyes down. I never knew the way it made me numb. I'm tired, love, of hiding in the shadows. I long to see our colors in the sun. 'Cause you are honey on my lips, the warmth glowing under my skin. And if heaven isn't here with you, then I don't care to taste it. Some call us sinners, but I swear that you make me clean. 'Cause you are everything I've always wanted, you're all I'll ever need. And I know you hate this, biting down on your screen. But if you're leaving here for good this time, don't you dare go without me. So won't you meet me in that secret place where lovers go to hide their face? Speak your heart out loud, see the way it gleams. Come down, my love, to the whistling tree. Won't you take my hand and follow my lead? Come down, my love, to the whistling tree. When this one last cry, maybe they could see. Come down, my love, to the whistling tree. Won't you take my hand and swing with me from a knot in a rope in the whistling tree?
Thank you, friends.
It's Haunted Like Human with us here today on the WDVX Blue Plate Special. Quickly, I need to mention that support for the WDVX Blue Plate Special comes from folks just like yourselves, because we are in our fall fund drive here at WDVX, and from Barley's Taproom and Pizzeria on Jackson Avenue in Knoxville's Old City. It is home of the Big Plate on Fridays at noon. Tomorrow, Ramona and the Holy Smokes will be with us. You can find information about that at WDVX.com. Additional support comes from Visit Knoxville and the Music Office of the Tennessee Entertainment Commission, supporting the creative community across the state through various initiatives and programs. Find out more about opportunities and how to be part of the music directory at tnentertainment.com/music. So I did mention we are in our fall fund drive here at WDVX. We started later than we normally would, but that was because of the devastation that happened back in September when we were going to have the fund drive. It just didn't seem like the right time. We shifted our focuses in different directions, which we are still focusing on that as well. We're just trying to, do double duty right now and take care of ourselves too. You got to self-medicate every now and then, and by that I mean pay the bills. And so that's what we're doing here for the next week. We will be in our fund drive. So if you haven't made a pledge yet, feel free to do so. You can make it right now at WDVX.com or by giving us a call at 865-544-1029. We are also collecting instruments for the musicians who lost their things during the floods. And they're busy doing other things right now, rebuilding their lives and their homes and their jobs, and we need to help them out with some music. Put some music back over there in those mountains. Wood Songs Old Time Radio Hour is spearheading this project, and Michael Jonathan will be with us next week, and we'll be sending him back with some goodies to take back with him. If you've got some instruments that you would like to, maybe there's a trumpet stuck under the bed, or maybe a guitar way back in the closet and nobody's playing, some harmonicas, pedals. There's all kinds of equipment that go along with making music. And so if you can help us out, visit Knoxville right here as a drop-off point for those donations, and we hope to load up Michael's car next week when he comes to see us. With that being said, we're being joined by Haunted Like Human here today on the Blue Plate Special. We can get a few more tunes.
That's really wonderful, by the way, that y'all are donating.
We're just helping.
My heart's been hurting for this part of Appalachia a lot, and that makes me really, really proud to see y'all doing that. So thank you. Anyway. So we didn't mean to theme the band when we named the band. That kind of came organically and felt right. And then I discovered my deep love for latching on to like dark and spooky and ghosty and deathy imagery. And my only explanation for myself as a lyricist is if they weren't so poignant and impactful images, then I would stop using them. But alas, here we are. They keep working. So that is how you get this song called Afterlife that is about walking through a graveyard of past relationships. So.
People only ever write the nicest things on headstones. Turn all the dirty secrets and the bad blood back to dust. A lover's graveyard is nothing but a patch of pretty lights. And when it's dark, it can trick your mind. The moonlight pulls you in just like the waves up to the shoreline. 'Cause sorrow thins the veil between the madness and the truth. You haunt in hallowed places just to search for signs of life. 'Cause when it's dark, it can trick your mind. So darling, don't go digging up graves.
is a choice you gotta make. So put the nails in the coffin, let them rust in place. But darling, don't go digging up graves.
You're drifting through the lonely and the hurt like cigarette smoke, ungrounded and unflinching like it's all just fever dreams. You're reaching out at shadows that can't bring the dead to life, 'cause when it's dark, it can trick your mind. So darling, don't go digging up graves. When love is lost, the afterlife is a choice you gotta make. So put the nails in the coffin, let them rust in place. But darling, don't go digging up graves. Can you make it till the light? Close your eyes against the night. The waking from this sleep is slow, but the hardest part is letting go. So darling, don't go digging up graves. When love is lost, the afterlife is a choice you gotta make. So put the nails in the coffin, let them rust in place. But darling, don't go digging up graves.
Thank you, friends. So I mentioned this next one a little bit earlier while we were chatting. This is a song that is very heavily inspired by Cody's grandmother. He's got a lot of family that lives up in Ohio, and at one point we were hanging out with her while we were on the road, and she was telling us about how she had grown up in South Carolina. Her family had like always been down in South Carolina, and she met her husband when he came down for work in the military, and they meet and they fall in love and they get married, and it's this wonderful love story. And they decided when she was pregnant with their first that the best course of action was going to be to send her up to Ohio to live with his family, and he was going to work and he's going to send back money. Tales old as time. And of course she's telling us about all these ways that things kept not working out and their plans kept kind of falling through. And she said very offhand that he was just trying to get back to Ohio. And I was like, how do I get that in my phone with that inflection? I can't do a voice note because Nana is still speaking. But what came of that is like a song and a story told through like letters back home. And we were going to be thrilled if just she liked it and gave us a thumbs up. And she did before the record came out. We wanted to make sure to share it. And like I said before, we woke up on release morning to find that it had been put on like 2 Spotify official playlists as a song that wasn't even a single. So it has been really immense to see like how widely this song has connected and how cool it is to be able to go back to Nana and be like, everyone loves your song, Nana. And she's like, that's wonderful. So this is one for her. It's a song called Ohio.
Dear Diana, I confess that though Columbia's a mess, I swear to God this one last job will get us through. I know this isn't what we'd planned, but I'm doing all I can. A few more weeks and I'll be running back to you. But now I'm stuck in Carolina trying to find my way home. But the work is going along, I feel it heavy in my bones. And I'm just trying to get back to Ohio. Yeah, I'm just trying to get back to Ohio. My love, the stars here ain't as bright as a clear Ohio night, but I still find the ones I know that you can see. I'm pulling strength down from above, but it's never quite enough. The more I work, it seems the less I get to keep. But now I'm stuck in Carolina trying to find my way home. But the money don't go far enough for how far I gotta go. And I'm just trying to get back to Ohio. Yeah, I'm just trying to get back to Ohio. I left you in the summer sun when hopes were high and dreams could run, but none of this was how it was meant to go. Yeah, I've been gone for far too long. The best intentions can run wrong, and even Carolina's starting to get cold. Darling, you told me from the start to never bet against my odds. And all this time I've never held a winning hand. There's giving up but try and fight, and then there's doing what is right. I'm packing up and going back to be your man. 'Cause I've been stuck in Carolina trying to find my way home. Guess the rails can take me north back to my lover in the snow. And I'm just trying to get back to Ohio. Yeah, I'm just trying to get back to Ohio. Yeah, I'm just trying to get back to Ohio. Yeah, I'm just trying to get back to Ohio.
Thank you so much, friends.
Haunted Like Human with us here today on the Blue Plate Special. They've got one last tune for us here today, but before they do that, of course, I want to invite y'all down to join us for the Big Plate tomorrow at Barley's at noon. Ramona and the Holy Smokes will be there with us. You can find information about that at WDVX.com. While you're there, you can make a pledge to our Fall Fund Drive. Just click that donate button there, or you can always give us a call at 865-544-1029. You mentioned the instrument drive, right, a minute ago. 5 minutes before the show started, a gentleman walked in and handed me a guitar. It's working, y'all. So keep us in mind if you got some, who knows? There might just be a couple of harmonicas stuck in a drawer in your house somewhere you'd never even thought about. And somebody might could use these. We're here. Visit Knoxville, drop-off point for those goodies. HauntedLikeHuman.com is where you find more information. Merch available right here in the house. Heads up, Rocky Mount, North Carolina, and Wilmington, they are headed in your direction. And, like I always say, shake and howdy with them and thank them for being here with us today. We're going to get one last tune from Haunted Like Human on the Blue Plate Special.
It has been a pleasure being with y'all. Thanks for hanging out with us live here in the Visitor Center. We are going to leave y'all with a fun one. It's only the afternoon. I almost said evening. This afternoon, we have so much day ahead of us, friends. But this is an idea that I was kicking around for a couple days. I'm like setting up the restaurant at my awful little serving gig that I had back in college. And by the time I pitched it to Cody, I was like, I don't know if we want to go that hard. I'd been thinking of all these ways to like soften it, make it metaphorical. I was like, I don't know. And he was like, but hear me out. What if we just like really leaned and committed to it? And I was like, excellent. So that is how in a cabin up in Oregon, we wrote a song about a swamp witch in Louisiana who likes to run the devil out of town. So this is where we will leave y'all this afternoon. It's a song called Run Devil Run.
Run, devil, run toward the rising of the sun. Run, devil, run away from me. When you hear me coming round, you best get out of this town. And if you don't, there'll be hell to pay. Some claim they've seen her working, most just here in the dead of night. It's a howling in the wind, they say, like it's calling for a fight. She don't come just when you call her, but she'll be there when there's need. 'Cause she's there to hunt the devil down, yeah, she wants to see him bleed. And she says, run, devil, run toward the rising of the sun. Run, devil, run away from me. When you hear me coming round, you best get out of this town. And if you don't, there'll be hell to pay.
Call her prophet, call her priestess, call her witch or patron saint. Well, we know Jesus ain't around no more, and there's people needing saved. Don't think God's got any part of it, no holy books or ancient tongues, but there's a bottle of fire in her hands, and there's fire in her lungs.
And she says, run, devil, run toward the rising of the sun. Run, devil, run away from me. When you hear me coming round, you best get out of this town. And if you don't, there'll be hell to pay. Don't know if it's a gift she has, don't know if it's a curse. Wonder if she's chased the devil down since he's come into this world. Wonder if you were just dreaming, if you heard someone hold him wrong. But you'll feel a presence in your bones when she comes to make a call. We keep monsters in our storybooks, we hang heroes on our walls.
But of the folklore and the fables, she's the tallest tale of all. And she says, run, devil, run toward the rising of the sun. Run, devil, run away from me. When you hear me coming round, you best get out of this town. She said, run, 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 devil, run.
Thank you so much, folks. Thank y'all.
That's Haunted Like Human. Thank y'all. Join us again next time for more real live music on the Blue Plate Special.